You'll have to pardon the notes, chemo brain. First off, I'd like to thank the fine folks at the NCCS for this tremendous honor. I've been a longtime fan of the work that the NCCS does, so that makes it that much more special and meaningful to me. So a little over 16 years ago, I was newlywed with a rising career as a vice president, running a data practice at a brokerage with my husband. And our company agreed to let us live in Northern California so we could raise our daughter, as long as we were in LA once or twice a month for meetings. So we drove back and forth every other week with dog and cat in tow. Life was busy, life was stressful, but life was good. I was only 29 at the time, and according to the 2 doctors that I saw in 18 months, probably had IBS and probably some hemorrhoids, but don't worry about it because I was too young and too healthy for it to be anything like cancer, right? So like too many others, I was misdiagnosed, and following a colonoscopy, I was diagnosed with stage 3C rectal cancer. And this was a diagnosis that could have been made 18 months prior had they taken my symptoms seriously. I had the first surgery of my life, a bowel resection, and it was followed a year later because of a metastasis to my liver. And so all of a sudden I was stage 4 and had an 8% chance of living the next 3 years. When you're first diagnosed, it feels like everything has been taken from you in one fell swoop. For me, it was the dream of starting a family as well as a newlywed and watching my daughter grow into the wonderful young lady that she is now. Suddenly I was in the literal fight for my life, but I wasn't quite sure what part of it I had in this fight, whether it's like the entire thing or if it was just out of my hands. And there was so much confusion, and I just felt like I was in the dark. I didn't have anybody I could go to for answers to my questions. I had no peer support. I was told that I was the only person who was this young with this type of cancer. And when I showed up to treatments, sure enough, everybody was at least twice my age. So now I fight for the underserved, not only because of who I was when I was growing up, because even as a professional in a household with 2 incomes of corporate vice presidents, treatments were a massive strain on us financially. And those who don't have the benefit of those resources need affordable avenues for treatment. I am a Chinese Vietnamese immigrant, and I fight for this community too, because too often the Asian community is not seen or included in discussions of DEI. We must insist on the importance of inclusion, but we must never sacrifice inclusion at the cost of another group's exclusion, especially in something as important as cancer. I fight for the immigrant community because I have been a part of the mindset where we just agree with the doctor's authority and don't ask questions or self-advocate. My own parents never had a colonoscopy until after I was diagnosed because, like annual physicals, they were never told that it was necessary or important. And I fight alongside doctors and researchers because they need advocates to help move the research forward, not only towards a cure, but towards a better quality of life. And I fight for those newly diagnosed, especially those with early age onset, because life is not over with cancer diagnosis, even if you are stage 4, because there is hope. I worked with the Colon Club and now fight colorectal cancer because I see people who have walked the same road, and they too want to share that hope. October has always been a landmark month in my cancer journey. 16 years ago in October, I was prepping for my first surgery. My second would be a year later. 13 years ago in October, I had a hepatectomy that removed half my liver. 12 years ago, I jumped off the stratosphere in Las Vegas to celebrate being a part of that 8% to make it past that 3-year mark. And 6 years in October, I became a permanent ostomet, so another way for me to advocate. The last 6 months have been spent in and out of the hospital. My nerve pain became unbearable and pain management was a necessity. My weight dropped to a point where chemo could not continue, and these have been some of the more difficult months of all my experience. So here we are in October again. My husband and I didn't know if we would be able to make it here tonight. Huge thanks to Elena. I'm not sure where you are. I can't find you. But thank you for your patience and kindness while we were figuring that out. A lot depended on the result of my recent scans, and last week we received those results. No evidence of disease. This is the first time in 7 years that I don't have to be on active chemo, active treatment, any of that. And I can just work on recovering my body to build strength for the next round, because I'm stage 4 and chemo for life, so it's coming. All things considered, this has turned out to be one of the better Octobers in memory. I wish that our daughter Taylor could be here so that I could hug her and thank her for being my reason to get up every single day, especially on days that it would be easier to just crawl under the covers and hide from treatments. Eddie, I'm so glad that we are celebrating here with everybody tonight. You are the reason I've been able to do this work. Your support, your encouragement, your love, your belief in me when I wonder how much more I could take. I could be here up here all night with thanks to you. But really, thank you for keeping your head when you needed to, when I've lost my brains. And thank you for losing your mind when I needed you to get things done in the hospitals. You make me a better me. But thank you all tonight so much for allowing me to share this evening with you, because it was definitely a tremendous honor, and it will be one that I will remember forever. Thank you.